Johnny Carson was once the most famous man on television, a nightly presence in millions of American homes, yet he died having pushed nearly everyone away. Behind the laughter and effortless charm of The Tonight Show was a man shaped by emotional distance from the very beginning. Born on October 23, 1925, in Corning, Iowa, and raised mainly in Norfolk, Nebraska, Carson grew up shy, withdrawn, and lonely. He wasn't athletic or socially outgoing. Instead, he escaped into books and magic tricks, discovering early that performance allowed him to communicate without exposing his emotions. At home, affection was scarce. His mother, Ruth, was cold and critical, rarely offering praise, while his father, Homer, was passive and emotionally absent. No matter how well Johnny performed or how hard he tried, he never felt truly seen, especially by his mother, a wound that stayed with him for life. As he entered adulthood, those emotional walls only hardened. After serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II and later studying radio and speech at the University of Nebraska, Carson moved into broadcasting, quickly proving his talent. His sharp wit and calm confidence led him to television success, first with Who Do You Trust? And then, in 1962, with The Tonight Show, where he became the undisputed king of late night for 3 decades. On camera, he was warm, relaxed, and brilliantly funny. Off camera, he was guarded, private, and uncomfortable with intimacy. That pattern carried into his personal life. Carson married 4 times, yet each relationship followed the same cycle: early excitement, emotional withdrawal, and eventual collapse. His first marriage to college sweetheart Jody Walcott produced 3 sons, but he was largely absent as a father, emotionally unavailable and consumed by work. Later marriages brought wealth, glamour, and companionship, but never true closeness. He feared vulnerability and needed control, often turning to affairs and distance rather than emotional honesty. That same emotional detachment marked his relationships with his children, especially his youngest son, Ricky, whose tragic death in a car accident in 1991 deeply shook Carson. Though he never spoke publicly about it, friends believed the loss haunted him with guilt and regret he refused to confront. Professionally, Carson was admired but feared. He held grudges, avoided confrontation, and cut people out completely when he felt betrayed, most famously ending all contact with Joan Rivers after she launched a competing show. Alcohol became another quiet companion in his life, intensifying his moodiness and isolation, though much of it was hidden from the public. When Carson retired in 1992, he vanished almost entirely, rejecting interviews, appearances, and celebrations of his legacy. His final years were spent quietly in Malibu, battling declining health from years of smoking, surrounded by privacy rather than people. When he died on January 23, 2005, at the age of 79, there was no public funeral and no grand farewell. In the end, Johnny Carson, the man who made America laugh for 30 years, left the world the same way he had lived much of his life: controlled, distant, and alone.